right. Next up, we have Manuela talking about lessons learned as a GitHub campus expert. Give it up for Manuela!
My name is Manuela. I'm from Medellin, Colombia, and that's where I studied. Colombia. That's where I studied software engineering. I finished college around 8 months ago, and definitely my experience as a student wouldn't have been the same without the impact that the communities had on my life. So today I want to share with you some of the most memorable moments that I've had and the lessons that it taught me. So I first joined a tech community on 2016 because a friend invited me, but honestly I wasn't that convinced about attending. So my plan was to only attend once and that's gonna be it. But then I attended a second time, a third time. I started helping with staffing tasks, organizing the setup for the speakers, giving talks, and eventually I became part of the organizing team. And this process taught me a lesson that I apply in all my projects and is start small. I think sometimes we want to run a huge event from start or start speaking at big events, but if we start small, we can build the confidence and skills that we need in order to do it at a big scale. 2 years later, I won a scholarship to participate in JSConf Europe in Germany. I was super happy for having this opportunity, but at the same time, I was terrified because it was going to be my first international trip. I was going to do it alone. I speak no German, and I didn't feel that my English was good enough to survive in a different country. But I did it, and that's where I learned that I cannot let the fear to stop me. If you're afraid of doing something, just do it. And in the worst case scenario, you're just going to learn how to not to do something. Like right now, honestly, I'm terrified about giving a talk in English. This is a huge challenge for me, but I know it's going to worth it because of the experience I'm having in this conference. After this JSConf experience, I was so inspired that I decided to create a community at my university. And we made a lot of mistakes. We needed to reinvent the community and iterate. But all this effort then allowed me to become a GitHub campus expert. So right now, we don't know what the outcome of our efforts is going to be. The only thing that we can do is one step at a time, and as we have probably heard before, progress, not perfection. Sometimes we get stuck in some areas just because we are afraid of not doing it perfect. And we accomplish more doing one small thing every day than waiting a whole year to do a big one. So if you want to run a conference, a hackathon, create online content, read a book, whatever, just start to do it and you're going to improve and make it better the next time. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this road, and I actually learned it even before starting in my tech career, but I realized it years later, and it's don't underestimate your knowledge. When I was in high school, we had a class about programming, and all we learned was basic HTML, not CSS, JavaScript, or algorithms. And you don't need to be a genius to teach HTML. But this teacher completely changed my life because he opened my world to a career that I hadn't even considered before, and I couldn't have done a better choice. So don't let the imposter syndrome to stop you, and don't wait in feeling an expert in order to share what you already know, because there are other people who doesn't have that knowledge, and you can have a huge impact in their lives by sharing it. And I know this path of becoming a leader, it's not easy, but remember that you are not alone. I recognize there are a lot of companies, communities, and mentors willing to give you support and help you become a better leader. I can recommend you the GitHub Campus Expert program because I'm part of it, but there are a lot of different ambassadors programs that you can join. And if you want to keep sharing tech stories, learning about GitHub, and practicing some Spanish, I'd love to connect with you and enjoy the conference. I,
Thank you.